Living and Loving Life's podcast is to help people find their balance spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and socially. Listeners will have a positive mindset, renewed outlook for themselves, their future, and believe they are beautifully made inside and out. Listeners will shine and be an example to others as they live fully, completely with no barriers, no burdens, and no regrets.
Welcome back, everybody, to Motivational Mondays with Living and Loving Life podcast. We have a wonderful guest today. We have Ravi. What she's going to do is she's going to tell us a little bit about herself, and then we'll get into the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, hi, Erica. I am so happy to be here and to share a little bit about what my heart knows and what my experiences know. I'm just flowing with that. We're all here together to grow and evolve. But so I want to just talk about me, how I grew and evolved, and coming from a large family and had my own wounds and traumas as a child. But I grew up into creating successful businesses. So I went into the business world. But there was one thing that was very memorable for me as a child. When I was 4 years old, I would go to the church and I learned about Christ and God and Mary. And I was just so struck with the idea that God, this great God, and I was told he's in heaven. And I always looked up in the sky. I want to know where heaven is. Mm-hmm. But fast forward through my own healing and going through all of that, I have come to realize that God is nowhere outside of who we are.
Right.
God is here.
Mm-hmm.
God is here now. And through my own experiences, I was shown once when I was going through my childhood crisis, and that the everlasting love is here around you, and touched me. Because so we ask about what is that, and that's what I want to share with the audience. The everlasting love is consciousness. It's consciousness because
that's a good topic.
Yeah, because consciousness is pure love.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so great. I love that. We had a different topic, but you know how God works. He shifted us, and so we're going to shift it that way. And so I love that. So everlasting love. What is that? So let's say someone, is in a really bad space. They call it the dark place. What would you have them do to even get started? Because to say somebody that's in a really low place, everlasting love, that's kind of far-fetched and kind of a hard concept for someone to grasp. So how would you start them on that journey of evolving?
I would say that this dark place you are in, with it's emotional, it's psychological, it's just, I want you to really, really consider that you are the essence of love. Mm-hmm. And whatever happened to you is a conditioning.
Right.
Commonly from a child. So we are here to break that spell. We have to break the spell.
Yeah.
So don't think I'm saying stay away from your pain and just feel love. No, I'm saying stand there and become aware that something happened to you that has caused you pain. And it's covering over the essence of your beauty, your love. You are part of that Godhead. And so don't run away from it. Hold that space for that feeling. Don't try to distract yourself into watching TV or going out or
Overworking yourself.
overworking or overeating.
Yeah.
And to know that it's there. The body's language is pain. The body's doesn't have a language like we have, but it has something to bring your attention to what is going on inside. So I would really invite you to sit or be still and really, most importantly, breathe. Just gently breathe. Know that you, that divine self, is there paying attention to this feeling of not feeling upset. So breathe, and then you let the breath out, and you just hold that space, and then you ask yourself, where in my body is speaking to me right now? We don't judge it. This is the love we're going to give to it. Nurture it. Nurture like a child.
Right.
Just imagine your pain is like a child and it comes to you for attention. So you nurture it and you find where in the body is this comfort, and you hold a space there and allow it to show itself up. Just hold that space. And if you feel an emotion that's coming, please don't push it away.
Right.
The emotions is the place that you begin to heal, because what I want to remind you is that the memories are everything that ever happened to us. Memories are imprinted in the body. And it's printed in the body with a feeling. And when you release that feeling, that emotion, trust me, you'll have the memory. Sometimes it fades away, but it is going to empty that place from the discomfort. The locked emotion in the body is what is causing the discomfort.
So that's exactly right. Clearly the way you describe it is a little different than I do, but with my clients, I let them know we have to do the onion peeling. And that is that releasing of suppressed or subconscious things that we're not aware of, but are showing up in our day-to-day lives, depending on different circumstances. So I have this question all the time, and I want to know what your perspective or your opinion is on it. A lot of times clients will ask, what's the difference between you and a therapist?
All right. So I'm going to say it as if they're asking me. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
A therapist is a traditional person who has gone to school and is coming now with memories of what they've learned. Right. And they're going to speak with you with language. Primarily, that's what they do. Okay. For me, I come to you with love and compassion.
Yeah.
And where does that come from? It comes from my heart. And the thing is, traditional therapists can't hug. The protocol is you can't hug, and you can't, and they don't open their eyes to tear with you.
Right.
The thing is, I'm with you.
Yeah.
And I bring light in. I don't work in the dark, but I bring light to the dark.
Right.
And I am totally with you. And it's a really beautiful, sacred way to look at like you and Erica and what I do, because we don't have a script that we follow.
Right.
When a client comes to me, they're coming to me with their energy. Their physical body is only a part of it. There's an energy field.
Yeah.
And my intuition is going to feel you and know that whatever it is that you tell me, I have the ability to look under the hood also. So there's no script, and there is nothing more than your presence and what you've brought to me that you're not aware that I can see or feel. So,
right.
And I think perhaps it's the same with you, Erica.
It is. It's identical. It's identical. And so that's the thing is like, I had a podcast with the therapist and I wanted to say we're in different lanes. You know, some people need a therapist because that's the energy or that's what they're looking for. But then there are other people that need the same type of help, but in a different way, being just shedded on the light or the spiritual way, like you said, the intuitiveness. You know, therapists aren't, you can't train someone to be intuitive. It's either you have it or you don't.
That's right.
And that is learned behavior.
That's right. And I want to say that I have had therapists as clients. And because they respect what I do and that I come from a whole different perspective than they do. And so that is the beauty. I will never falter or talk against a traditional therapist. People want to hear the language. They want to have a mental understanding of what they went on. Me, I'm here to let you release the emotions and to give you some guidance, some intuitive spiritual guidance that your therapist probably never had. Yeah, because they have to, in a way, they have to follow a script. They follow a script.
Oh, awesome. That's the thing. And like I said, is I respect everybody's seat. You know, it's not a competition thing. And that's what I want to keep clear with people. We're not here to compete. We're here to help and heal. So when you have those two different objectives, I'm not in competition. I'm here to do what I was called to do, period. So everything else has their place and I have mine.
Yes. And I want to remind the listeners that we all came in here with a soul. I think the people who are listening probably know about past lives. This soul has been around a long time, way more than this time. And so we have an agreement with in between lives with our counselors, okay, based on our abilities and what we have experienced in the past, this is what you're going to work on. There are many levels to what we're going to work on. For instance, one may have some unfinished business with something terrible that happened to them. And they're coming back and they're choosing a family that will help to bring this out for them. And it's not just the family. It's about the continuation for you to resolve that. Right. So people call that karma. Karma can be also a good thing. Mm-hmm. For me, I my own personal journey, I remember that I was very different in my family, but only when I walked away from my wounds, I locked it in the closet and walked away. But only when I was confronted in a mystical way to face my child, and I had to go through the healing because I know I needed to connect with her, I began to experience, through my own experiences, I got to really understand the human conditioning. I really did. Mm-hmm. And so when someone comes to me or I see someone else, I feel so connected because they too have gone through issues. Right. It's just that their story is different. Mm-hmm. So at that point, I knew that agreement in between lifetimes, I came in to my promise, my soul came in to do exactly what I did through my own self-healing with clients. Mm-hmm. And it's really when we can look to see that the pain and the discomfort and all the stuff that we're going through has a very important purpose. Mm-hmm. It's really an important purpose. And go through it and release it. because you'll come to a place like, and this, I'm talking about my story, which would not be different from anybody else's. If I continue to go through my healing or go to someone to help you, don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stop, because your soul is here on a mission.
Yeah. Awesome.
And yeah, it's very important.
Yeah. All right. So what would you say was one of your hardest lessons that you've learned during your journey? And do you apply it to your day-to-day life?
Hardest journey is that I felt left out. My mother was the one, was the guardian that came in to really push me, and my pain was through my mother. And there were 10 of us, and I felt so left out. And even growing up and leaving home and becoming a young adult, I would feel left out. If I walk into a group with people and they didn't say, "Oh, hi, how are you?" acknowledge me, I would feel left out. Oh, it was crippling.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say that these things that we feel is our own opinion about who we think we are.
Right.
And if we have these disturbing opinions about ourselves, or self-hate, or self-judgment, it's going to reflect in the way we live outside with other people.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Inside expresses on the outside.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so
Absolutely.
that was that's one of the things that came up when you asked me. I'm very insecure. And now I can say that the everlasting love that I was shown sits in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I can do it. We all can do it. Now is the time. Yeah. It's a very important time. This is in November 1921. And it's a very important time of the situations on the planet that people are going through. Yeah. Things are coming up from the unconscious. These things are helping the unresolved issues that we don't remember to come up. Mm-hmm. And please take advantage of it. Yeah. Please take advantage. Don't put it away. Don't hide it. Don't try to survive it. Sit and say, okay, this is here. And it has been here. Many times I meet different people, but I feel the same thing, Yep. And I need to end it. I'm the only one that can end it.
Yep, absolutely.
And that is the truth. What I mean by you're the only one that can end it, you may go to someone for help, yes. But you have to open the door and allow them to support you. Absolutely. You have to let go all the resistance. Yeah. So, and then at that time you realize it's a beautiful world we live in, because the beauty is coming from here, not from what we see outside.
The world looks so much different, doesn't it?
It does.
You saw it before. Me too. I go outside and I smell things. I see things. I'm like, that was there, because you're so under distress and stressed out and chaotic that you can't even take that moment to just enjoy what he put here for us to enjoy.
No. And that's where I am in my life today. I really want to help people to break the spell of their childhood conditioning and to really find peace and happiness.
Yeah, I really think
very possible.
A generational curse, and it's clear because now we're seeing the results of this repeated behaviors that have never been addressed for years to come, thousands of years. It's just never been talked about. It's always the older generations are the people that are like, don't talk about it. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Just sweep it under the rug and keep on going. Nothing's going on. But this is the results of that. Now we have people that are broken and lost and scared, confused, and just don't even know where to start because they're so used to just, you know what, can't deal with it, put it under the rug, keep on moving.
That's right. I totally agree with you. And it's passed on to generations and generations.
So enough is enough. We need to start talking. People need to get it off of their chest. Being okay with, like you said, my biggest hurdle for me was being able to surrender, open myself up and just let go and not being ashamed of what came with that,
Yes.
knowing that a lot of the things that happened to me, I was an innocent bystander, not to put myself in a victim role, but I couldn't have done anything different. So, but don't take it like if it was my problem.
That's right. And that's a very important thing that the listeners should know. Whatever hurt, that someone hurt you, physically abused you, or verbally abused you, it's something that happened to you. You are responding with a very emotional, disturbed feeling. That's what it is. And that's what you need to let go, because that person will always be taking space in your house.
Right.
And this is your sacred temple.
Yeah.
No one has a right to be there unless you allow them.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's what healing is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. None of us has ever escaped not being hurt, not being traumatized, and not being wounded.
Yeah.
And so it's not a secret. It's a thing that needs to come out and openly and said, yeah, I too have been hurt.
Right.
Yeah, I'm ready. And I'm ready
Yeah.
to open.
Mhm.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So in your opinion, what does it mean to live and love life?
To love life. What it means to love life.
To live and love life.
Oh, to live and love life. The first thing that comes to me is self-love, right? Now, when I heard that word many years ago, I was in a spiritual group, maybe 30 odd years ago. And I had a channeled teacher whom I just adored. And I had a private with her one day, and the very last thing she said to me, my name was not Radhavi then, it was Faye. She said, love yourself, Faye. And immediately my ego reacted, I love myself. And I walked out the room, and I knew she would never have said that to me if I was living from self-love.
Right.
I never forgot it. And so the journey, and this is one of the classes I really want to do, is about helping people to understand the levels of self-love and where it's not about, I love myself, so I'm going to spend every penny I have, go shopping.
Yeah.
It's not about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's about your self-integrity. Not saying yes when you really want to say no.
Right. Right.
With a sense of certainty, and how you can look at why maybe you never loved yourself. What is it you do out in the world that is showing up that you're not loving yourself? Are you a pleaser? People may think, I'm a nice person because I always say yes and I please. That's not true.
Yeah.
We have to look at, how do I feel about whatever it is someone asked me to do? How do I feel about that job?
Right.
It's going to give me a lot of money, but do I really love that job?
Right.
These are the little things to look at. And something comes to mind, and I'll just say that I was 17, 18, and I was in a job, and I walked into a store, and the man said to me, he owned the store, and he said, I'd like to offer you a job, but let's go for a drive. Okay, I'm innocent. I mean, at 17, 18, I was really not a devious thinking person. So we went for a ride, and he has a duty-free stores too, where the tourists come. And he said, I would like to give you a job there, but I'm going to pay you a lot more than I put on the books. And I knew exactly what that meant. I knew it. I wasn't that innocent. I'm going to pay you more than what I put on the books. And his behavior to me was really uncomfortable. I would never, ever. And I walked away. Recognizing what it is. It wasn't about the job. It was something he wanted from me.
Right.
That I didn't have consent to.
Yeah.
So he wanted to own me. And we have to look at how life owns us in different ways. To be a pleaser, to do something because we have a sense of need. Very attractive to make more money. Is there a sense of need? Nothing we ever do with a sense of need ever come from a place of integrity.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome.
So that came to me, so I just
please, because a lot of times the sad part is people will sell their souls. There is a dollar from people's head, and that's unfortunate. But like you said, you could have done something that was against your integrity for some extra money.
Right.
All right. So is there any new products you have or anything that the listeners should look out for you?
I'm offering now a 20-minute complimentary guidance. And I really wish everyone would take that because it doesn't cost you anything, but allow your curiosity to accept it. And so I'm offering that, and I have different programs on my website that I offer.
Okay.
And so that's what I would like to give now. And my name, I know they're not going to see my name, so it's RADAVIE. Radavie. And yes. So
okay, and listeners, I will have all of her information in our show notes too, where you can find or reach her. All right. I want to thank you so much, Radavie, for coming and enlightening us, giving us a little light. I love your information. You're very in tuned. And if anybody is looking for that, please do not hesitate to reach out to her.
Erica, I really enjoyed being with you because, you have such a care and openness, the same thing, desire to be of service to other people, to uplift them. I could see that. And that's why it was really lovely to share this time with you, because we're doing the same thing in our own different ways.
Right.
To be of service to the collective.
Well, he connects his people together, so we're here. But I do want to thank my listeners so much again for coming back to Motivational Mondays. I hope this helps you and motivates you to be better for this week. And we'll see you guys back next week. Thank you so much.
If you love the Living and Loving Life podcast, we'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give a review on iTunes. Don't forget to join us next week for another episode. Thank you for listening.